Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show. Real talk, big opinions, and fearless conversations. From the front lines of politics to the latest in pop culture. From breaking sports headlines to the stories that move the world. Nothing's off limits, and nobody's holding back. Arrington Gavin is here to break it down, build it up, and keep it all the way real. So turn it up, lean in, and let's get into it. This is the Arrington Gavin Show.
What is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome to another great episode of the Arrington Gavin Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day, whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz. Look, we're diving deep and keeping it real, so please do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. On today's conversation, by the way, this is episode 626, and we bring to you Around the Block, episode 2, technically, Around the Block, different views, but hey, same neighborhood. I will be joined by my good friend, Mr. Adam Tomlin, host of the Act Out podcast. Always excited to have my bro on. We're here to talk all things, obviously, politics. We're going to talk about his recent trip to DC. He was there for a week for an event called 7 Days in DC, and we want to kind of recap his time there because it was it was informative, right? You had a lot of well-known candidates, congressional candidates, progressive congressional candidates from all over. From I I saw some clips where Bernard Taylor, who's running out in Florida, he was a former guest here on the show. Who else was up there? There was some folks from Tennessee, Virginia. I've already said Florida. I mean, all over that was in attendance here. So you had panel shows. You even had oh man, I'll let Adam share some of the special guests who was in attendance. But it was dope, right? Again, 7 days in DC. First of all, I gotta joke on him because he was in DC on one of the hottest times. The hottest. I mean, it was the worst time to be in DC, but it was also the right time to be in DC. So we're gonna talk about that. Also, the latest news involving Graham Platner, Democratic candidate for U.S. Senate out in Maine, who has been, called to resign, to withdraw from the race due to allegations of from a previous partner of his. And again, Graham has been filled with controversy, in my opinion, since entering to the race. So I'm surprised he made it this far. But hey, we're here to talk about it and to see exactly who are the next, contenders to hopefully unseat Susan Collins, longtime senator out of Maine. So we're going to talk about that and so much more here on the Arrington Gavin Show. As always, fam, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to tune into yet another great conversation. As you know, we drop new episodes weeknights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Do us a favor also. Follow us on Instagram at the Arrington Gavin Show. You can also follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter. And check out our website, www.theagshow.com. And we're also available on Goatverse TV. You can check out past episodes of the Arrington Gavin Show on Goatverse TV. All you have to do is download the Goatverse TV app, or you can download it through Roku or Amazon Fire TV. So we continue to stretch our audience and just spread the word, spread the message of great conversation and just fun but informative at the same time, because we live in a world where, for one, legacy media is going to give you one thing, right? And then you have folks that kind of fake it, fake the messaging. Here we just keep it real, we keep it honest, and we keep it respectful. Again, we bring on folks from all different perspectives, political perspectives, religious perspectives, a little bit of everything, right? And we just love conversation. So I would appreciate if you can all subscribe to the channel if you have not done so yet, or give us a thumbs up. It helps with the algorithm. We love the engagement, so give us a comment, leave us a comment as well, and just again, stay informed, but spread the word about the show to family and friends, and we want to continue to just build this channel up. What else do I have for you all? So I've spoken from time to time on how I love giving back to the community here in the Hampton Roads area, my home area. And we have a event coming up in August. Let me see where it is. So I'm gonna put the QR code right up here in the corner for those who are watching, but also want to share a little bit of the Rugged Evolution Foundation site. So right here in the center, we are planning our 7th annual back to school giveaway. That's right, our back to school giveaway, where it's just a wonderful time, man, where we give back to our youth in Hampton Roads. So our mission at the Rugged Evolution Foundation has always been to give back to the less fortunate, right? My upbringing, I was very privileged. I was very fortunate. Never knew what being broke was. Never knew what hard times really was. My folks, I had hardworking parents, but that also taught me, hey, look, you have to be a blessing to those in need the way you were blessed. So it's unfortunate that we live in society where a lot of communities are overlooked. So the Rugged Evolution Foundation has always focused on helping out those less fortunate areas. And so our back to school giveaway started in 2019. What I did, I had bought 250 backpacks, and I challenged the community. To help fill in those backpacks with school supplies. So we had a goal of 250 at that time, but we exceeded our goal. We exceeded our goal to 375. And so since then, we have been having an annual back to school giveaway once a year, and we have other events too. You see up there, we have our coat and toy drive, but this upcoming one is our back to school giveaway, where we give backpacks filled with school supplies. We give free brand new shoes. We do face painting, haircuts for boys, and we have a hair salon that is. We have about, I think last year we had 9 hairstylists that came in and fixed, set up a hair salon for the young ladies. And we have the Identikids with the sheriff department. I mean, it's a great time, great community engagement. And I'm excited to put it on every year, but with the help of those volunteers and just with our partners that help make this happen. So it's happening Saturday, August 29th from 9 to 4. So if you happen to be in the Hampton Roads, Virginia area, please stop by. But hey, if you're not in the area, it's okay. You can still contribute in some form or fashion. If you would like to visit our website, again, I put the QR code up there, ruggedevolutionfoundation.org. If you would like to contribute and help our mission to give back to our youth in Hampton Roads, again, we truly appreciate that. All right, my friend. So what we're going to do now, we're going to head to a quick commercial break. When we come back, I'll be joining with my bro, Mr. Adam Tomlin, again, host of the Act Out podcast, and my I guess you could say my co-host for Around the Block, because again, this is like a new segment that we've been starting, and this is technically episode 2 of it, so we're pretty pumped. But I'm even more pumped to be talking with Adam again, especially with all the stuff happening in our news cycle. So y'all do not go anywhere. You're listening to the Arrington Gavin Show. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
Every man has a story to tell. Your ambitions, your achievements, your legacy. Your suit should reflect that story, crafted precisely, designed for impact, and tailored exclusively for you. We work with only the finest fabrics, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends from world-renowned mills in Italy, the UK, and India. These fabrics are the foundation of custom suits that exude elegance and stand the test of time. But a suit isn't just about fabric, it's about fit, and it's about confidence, and it all starts with you. When you work with me, you'll receive a personalized consultation, whether in person or over Zoom. Together, we'll explore your vision and discuss your needs, and we're gonna bring your ideas to life. My journey as a designer includes apprenticing under New York-based designer Clavon Leonard, showcasing collections at New York Fashion Week, Algeria Fashion Week, and the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. That experience is what we bring to every suit we create, from weddings to corporate events and everything in between. We specialize in crafting one-of-a-kind suits for life's most significant moments. Dapper Luke has been recognized as one of Baltimore's best menswear in 2023, and I was honored to be one of the 10 designers selected for the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. With over 900 satisfied clients, we proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore, bringing world-class designs to these incredible communities. We don't just make suits, we craft confidence. Your suit will fit your body, your style, and it will tell your story. Book your free online personal consultation today. Visit www.dapperluke.com.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to
And we still in traffic.
I don't look familiar, do I? Not in this seat.
Hey, what's that you listening to?
Here to host today.
Hey, turn it up.
With me?
Yeah, this that new Goat Verse app. I got you.
So y'all want to know where the goats are? They're off on the sidelines.
Looking for fresh, relevant content wherever you go?
What was the name of that he said?
Introducing GoatVerse TV,
Goat Verse, that's what it's called.
the free streaming app that brings you the best podcasts, current events, and thought-provoking opinions all in one place. Download it now from the Apple Store or Play Store. In Goats, we trust.
Order your beard care products with Rugged Evolution. We're your local beard care line that supports the maintenance of your full, mature beard. Our line includes conditioning shampoos, moisturizers, balms, oils, shaving lotions, and exfoliating soaps. These products moisturize, hydrate, nourish, and have all the natural ingredients for a healthy beard. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. And remember,
Rugged is the new smooth.
I'm Aaron Phillips. Join me Saturdays at 12:30 as I host The Voice of 757. I'll share news, events, happenings, and the people that shape the 757. That's The Voice of 757, Saturday afternoon at 12:30 right here on Sky 4.
All right, family, it's time for Around the Block. Different view, same neighborhood. It's time to bring on the host of the Act Out podcast, the one and only, you know him, you love him, friend of the show, Mr. Adam Tomlin. You're welcome. You're welcome. I know. You're welcome. Oh, please quiet down back there. Quiet. The crowd is just going wild back here, man. I know you can't.
I'm not surprised.
I mean, wow.
It's both of us, you know, like that. Our energy's infectious. I totally get it.
Man, how has everything been going? You have been quite the busy man. And as I mentioned early in the show, Adam, you were recently at the nation's capital. How was that?
Well, it was a lot of fun, first of all. So I haven't really been able to meet a lot of progressive like content creators or as many like candidates as I would like to have. And then being in DC this past week, it felt like it was just like getting to meet everybody all at once. And I had on a leather backpack, and it had like, you know, like my tripod in it, my microphones. I was going to be a good boy and try to get like some interviews and stuff. And I had that on, and I was walking around, and I felt like a kid at his first day of school, like with how excited I was. But no, it was awesome, man. I got to meet a lot of new great friends, and got to hopefully make a couple of connections where maybe you and I can start talking to some more folks from around the country, man. I'm pretty excited.
Man, look, and we have a lot of, you know, mutual friends that you have the opportunity to meet in person. I have yet to, you know, meet them in person. I've, you know, talked with them through FaceTime, through text, through being here on the show and stuff. So I know you had a blast. You were amongst, we about to say it, Adam?
I was about to say, all I did, man, is I set the stage for you. So you just come in there, man, you're going to knock it out.
I appreciate it. See, that's the goal. See, that's what we do here. That we, you know, if it was the other way around, I would have done the same thing. I'm like, hey, look, the stage is yours, Adam. All you have to do is just shine bright like a diamond, man. But you also, look, you was in DC during one of the hottest times in 2026. Like, I'm like, Jesus, like, what was the temperature for, you know, while you were there? If you had to guess. So
every day it was above 100 degrees.
Yep, you can have it. Yep, nope, not for me.
On Thursday afternoon, there was a pretty big veterans rally.
Okay.
That had I think like Jolly Ginger was there.
Okay, yeah.
USM, Angry Vet, like there were quite a few like veteran content creators that were there. And I mean, it was very, very powerful to have like those veterans come on and to kind of speak truth to power or speak power to truth, and to really be able to hear kind of from veterans what's going on in Iran and how this is not where we need to be, and how we are letting down our men and women in uniform. And it was so powerful. And I was like really excited to listen to it. But my battery drained so quickly being in that heat, man. Like I am somebody who, if I think about going outside, I'm going to start pouring sweat. And so I mean, I'm there, and I mean, just it is like beating off of me. I look like Michael Jordan in Game 6 of the '98 Finals, where he had that 103-degree fever. You
had folks trying to help pick you up, like I'm here, put me in the game.
Brush them off. I was like, I need this, man. I got to do this. Yeah, that was on me.
That's hilarious, man. But you know what? One thing I've noticed, Adam, is, and maybe it's just me, but I have you caught on, like there's a lot of just regular ongoing peaceful protests that occurred in this current, under this current administration. Like I feel like every day there is a peaceful protest, because it's just like, that's how toxic this administration is. I mean, I don't know how else to, to explain it. Like there's so many issues, but it's like every day I'm seeing, even when I'm in the DC area, because I actually have some friends and family that live up there, and I try not to well, I go to visit fam, but it pains me to see, like, once you arrive, there's like all these big posters of an individual with his face on. I'm just like, like it just really sucks all the like the fun. I was like,
the most bizarre
everything.
The most bizarre thing for me, I left on July the 4th, on Independence Day itself, and I took the Amtrak from Union Station in DC down to Norfolk, and it was so weird seeing all of these MAGA folks wearing the freedom, that Charlie Kirk shirt. Thank you, guys. They're wearing that freedom shirt, walking around, feeling all huffy and puffy. And then right beside them is the freaking National Guard that is stationed permanently in Union Station as long as Trump is president. It was such a bizarre kind of juxtaposition of like a few folks thinking they're free, and then a very clear sign that we are not free.
I think, and I meant to explain to folks that, one of the reason why you were in DC, but there was an image that I want your take on it, man, because so there was the KKK was a white nationalist group was there at the Capitol, right? I'm talking like it looked like it was well over 50 people, and there's an image that's circulating across social media and across the news waves of them being in a subway or a train, and there's just one person, there's one black lady that was sitting there, like so strong, so poised, and it breaks my heart, because it's like, I feel as though, and I'm not a parent, but you are a parent. I feel as though your kid is gonna grow up and see that image, see like, wow, and that was in 2026. Like, I mean, we saw images like that when we learn about civil rights and Black history. And that was like ages ago. That was decades ago. And it's like, bro, it's 2026. That image is going to circulate and be like, it's sad that we think that we're doing great, but look at that. Like, I mean, it's just and while all these clowns are masked, right? They're not showing their true faces. But it's just, I don't know.
Oh,
man.
no,
like,
they're showing their true faces. But
well, they are showing their true faces for sure. But like, man, what was and I don't know if they were there around the time when you were in DC. I'm not
They
sure.
were there, but I think that that image was taken in on a metro train. I didn't take the metro train. I took Amtrak. So I didn't see them. But
you didn't like happen to say, excuse me, I've got to find my seat here. You didn't happen to see any flags, any groups? Okay, just curious.
They probably would have tried to give me a mask with how I look,
look, they heard that voice and they said, "Hey, I'm joking, man.
You know I can't help my accent, man.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. You gotta love that Southern accent. You gotta love it.
But what I think is absolutely fascinating about all of this is the day that they decide to show up, July the 4th. That's not an accident. This is a group. I think it was Patriot Front, if I'm not mistaken. One of the other. I never mind. I can't say what I can't say what I want to on radio here. But it was that Patriot Front obviously feels very emboldened by this current administration.
Yeah.
To the point where they feel like they can have a show of force at our nation's capital on our 250th anniversary. And you're seeing, a lot of condemnation on the left. I don't think that'd be a surprise. But what is very disheartening is the lack of response from the right. White supremacism is something that should be abhorred and should be, absolutely talked down to no matter what side you're on. But I've heard from folks on the right that are talking are saying things like, well, they were peaceful. They didn't beat up that girl in the train car. Like, you should give them some credit for that. And to that, I say, go F yourself.
Seriously. And you know what? And this is a perfect example of why I always, I share why it's difficult for the right to even close to grow their minority base, right? Specifically, African Americans, because it's like, for one, you always run away from any form of social issues regarding how to, the mistreatment of other races within the community. But two, whenever you bring, race, they're like, oh, they try to avoid it. These are I'm talking about Black conservatives in elected office will avoid it. But I'm like, you realize that you're never going to win the Black vote when with moments like this. And even when the right is always upset of why they accuse or they say he's a racist, or he's this, he's that, it's X, Y, and Z. And it's like, well, if you actually try to speak against issues like this that just happened, instead of saying, well, they were peaceful, they're like come on, it just I really you're shooting yourself in the foot. You're really shooting yourself in the foot. I don't get it. Strategy sucks.
Well, yes and no, because their strategy isn't to grow their party; it is to shrink the voting populace. So they couldn't care less how many Black and brown folks they're going to be able to attract, because they're trying to stop Black and brown folks from voting.
Yes, that's very true. Very true.
Yeah.
Adam, you were in DC. What was the reasons you were there? Because you were there for a full week for a special event. If you don't mind sharing with the folks, again, reason why you were at the nation's capital.
Yeah, but it was called 7 Days in DC. It was hosted by a group called FLARE. It's an acronym. It is FLARE. I'm not going to even try to tell you how long of a continuous protest, but they have the longest continuous protest in the nation.
Wow.
I think it has gone on for over a year, where they have a tent set up at the nation's capital, and they have someone there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and for over a year.
Wow.
Just like how freaking inspiring those folks was unreal. Talking to them, who are on the front lines and are fighting every day, against the corruption of this administration. And it's such a strong juxtaposition. You have these this grassroots group that, just kind of a ragtag group of people who care. And then right across the street is the Department of Labor, and it's got a giant picture of Teddy Roosevelt, which is, I like old teddy bear. But then right next to him is freaking Trump. He's got that scowl, and how he's like looking down. It's so just hideous. And to me, that is a slap in the face to everything America represents.
I couldn't disagree. I couldn't agree more on that one, because, you're talking about an individual who's still currently in office, wanting to be on U.S. currency, right? Wanting to, like, he is dying to get on USA currency. He's still pouting the fact that they took his name down from the Kennedy Center. I mean, it's just, again, it's so much of like him instead of the people, and it just it truly every time. I mean, okay, so we shared about 7 days in DC. As you mentioned, you had a great experience. You got the opportunity to meet progressive content creators, and again, it was, I saw highlights of it. It looked like it was an awesome time. I mentioned I saw some congressional candidates who actually I've had on the show, like Bernard Taylor, who's running out in Florida. He has a tight race. I think it's just 2 as of right now. He's like in the top 2 in that Democratic primary, if I'm not mistaken. But he's been really picking up.
He's a fireman, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And he's been sharp on social media, man. You can tell
he's not just a fireman. The man is like a former MMA fighter. Like, he's pretty yoked. I'm just saying he's a big guy. He's a big guy. I wouldn't run against him. I'm just saying like that. I wouldn't run against him. But no, just to name him and other great candidates who have made a lot of build a lot of traction. Some have are still in the race. Some has dropped out, but are still very vocal. And has, I would say, they have sent out a great message saying, hey, look, we got some strong challengers, so incumbents, get it together, right? Or just, establishment, get it together. But I wanted to share another crazy story. So I don't know if you heard about the Trump accounts. Did you hear about the Trump accounts?
Yes. Did they have like a little booth at the Great American Fair or whatever? It's like,
I
Trump
think
accounts
they
today?
did. Let me see if I have, because I might have a clip of when they had when they announced these Trump accounts. Let me see if I have a clip here, man, because this is something that I read about a while back. Didn't think it was actually gonna happen, but it did. And again, we talk about having his name on everything. Let me see if I can play this for you all. All right, so this right here I'm about to play you is okay. Under the new program, the Treasury Department will deposit, they're saying, $1,000 for each enrolled child born in the U.S. between January 1st of 2025 and December 30th of 2028. So let me just kind of read you a little or just share this soundbite about these Trump accounts.
Else will benefit. So ring the bell, Mr. President.
So after a truly historic weekend celebrating the 250th anniversary of America, today we're thrilled to officially launch the Trump accounts. This is a very special kind of a thing that took place. It's in a way, it's a miracle. Nobody thought it was possible. Think of it. Children that are born without money, without any money, great parents, they can have everything, can be great, but they have no money. They can become very wealthy children at 18, and they can flip it over, or their people can flip it over into other vehicles at a certain age so that they don't take it out. I would recommend they probably don't take it out, but they can have a lot of money.
Trump accounts will benefit. So ring the bell, Mr. President.
All right, so let me kind of just briefly explain. That did happen. So the Trump accounts are tax advantaged investment accounts for children, as I mentioned, under the age of 18, created under the One Big Beautiful Bill, managed by parents until a child turns 18 under an investment in low cost equity index funds. And I mentioned the children who are eligible. And there was a couple that was there who I guess was a part of this whole initiative. They were billionaire couple who had I don't know what, thought of this idea. I mean, like, I really don't know. I mean, again, you're a parent now. I don't think your child qualifies for this. So just missed it.
He looked at Camden's birthday, was like, I need to make sure that the Tomlin is not eligible for this. I'm not surprised at all. Humpty Trumpy.
What's your take on this story, man? I know I've never had this on the slate, but I just something that popped up. I'm like, while I got Adam here, because he's a busy man. I mean, it's hard to get in touch with. What's your take on this, man?
Well, first of all, with the video itself, the way he rang that bell, he tried to grab that thing by the.
Like I saw him bite his lip for a second when he did. I'm like, ew, he's having too much fun with that belt.
and do you really
he likes
want
shiny
to take...
he likes big shiny gold things. I mean, let's just remember that. So
why on earth would you take financial advice from a 4-time bankrupt individual? Well, kids, I think you should keep it in your account. No, Trump, you shut up. Okay, dude? You bankrupted a casino.
That makes money by itself. Like, you don't need to do anything. Just keep it open.
Yeah. I do. So the thing is, Trump has kind of this thing. It's like the anti-Midas touch, where, like the Midas touch, everything you touch turns to gold. With Trump, everything he touches turns to stuff.
Yes, to that one. Stuff. I mean, hello, World Cup, but I'm just
right.
Hello.
So, I don't trust this. I anything that Trump puts his name on, I'm like, okay, there is some kind of catch here. What is it? Like, the kids will probably get like 1,000 Trump bucks, which is like, approximately worth like 0.000001 pennies. Like that wouldn't surprise me with him. But I don't know, man. Do you think it's above board?
By the time they're 18, they're probably going to get a bunch of conservative paraphernalia in the mail saying, "Hey, look, vote MAGA." Come on. I mean, it's definitely it. Deep down, I want to see this as like something impactful, because who doesn't want to start youth with some money in the bank, right? But to me, I'm like, if their focus is, in this age bracket, I mean, why don't you just do all? I mean, we have the funds, just do all children of a certain age, right? And just say, okay, between the age of, this or within the last, like, 2 or 3 years or something. I mean, I want to see this do good. I know I talk a lot of junk about this administration because I really don't like the individual, but I really, at the end of the day, whatever affects him does affect the country. So I do want to see this thrive, right? I think the overall thought and idea is sharp, because again, you're talking about legacy wealth. There's folks that don't come from don't come from money, period. So it's like I would, because I don't know about you, I have so many regrets saying, damn, I wish I would have saved this much, because when I started receiving allowance, I was just spending on the cool things. Like, let me just spend on the important things like video games. Let me just spend on video games and shoes and the stuff that I can't, like, get back money when the older I get. Like, I was doing stupid spending, and it's like, the more I reflect, I'm like, damn, I wish I would have started saving just a little bit more, so I can have a little bit better cush the older I got. But I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, this is I guess another way of trying to buy votes, I think, and trying to buy, because his approval rating is dropping tremendously. So
yeah,
it's come on. I mean, he's getting criticized of receiving the plane from Qatar, right? $400 million. And so every time there's a controversy, he follows it up with something to kind of like win the folks back. So I look at it as like a strategy to just win his base back.
That's interesting, and I could actually see that very much being the case. it's amazing. Like, I've never seen someone be like, oh my gosh, I'm in trouble here. I need to create more trouble to get myself out of this trouble. So maybe he is getting a little bit better and is just trying to be like, oh, well, actually, maybe I can do something good. And, I just don't, Trump doesn't strike me as the kind of guy to learn a lesson, though. So I am very, I'd be surprised if he, if he were above board like this. Now, what I can see is this being a way of like putting his name on something that could be good in the long run. He wants that arc, which looks freaking hideous. He tries to put his name on the Kennedy Center. I think he realizes that once he's gone, no one's going to put his name on anything.
Oh,
so
the gold goes away. Everything's going to get, everything's going back in storage. Everything is going in his U-Haul truck back to Mar-a-Lago. It's gonna be like an old museum. Yeah, it really is. All that stuff is going right there in the Trump library, which again will probably be a gold-plated, building or whatever. I mean, it's just, don't you get tired of gold, man?
Just hideous.
It is. It doesn't just get tired of gold. like he doesn't. He has made gold unattractive now. Like I don't want to see gold. Nothing. Like I don't. But man, I do want to shift stories because a very, very, very big news story that occurred recently surrounding the at once very popular candidate, U.S. Democratic candidate for Maine's U.S. Senate, Graham Platner. So Graham Platner, a partner from a previous relationship, had come out saying that he had sexually assaulted her. And even though it's still at allegation, but from credible sources, and even CNN sat down and interviewed her, and she shared even more, more details. As of right now, a second woman had came out of sexual assault allegations. So, so many people have said Adam to, he has to withdraw. And I mean, Wes Moore recently shared all of his endorsements has been withdrawn. Ro Khanna out of California. Bernie Sanders was like the very last one to withdrawn. Elizabeth Warren. The list goes on and on and on. I'll be honest, from the get-go, I thought Graham Platner should have been gone way early on due to the tattoo that was in support of it was a Nazi tattoo.
Yes.
I mean, it's, can't explain it any easier than that. That's what it was. And
even his defense of that, man, was so crazy. It was essentially like, it's only a Nazi tattoo if you get it in Germany.
Everything else is just I didn't know. I was partying. I got it tattooed over. I mean, again, it was so, and for me, when I saw that, I'm like, okay, if he was a Republican, the left would chew this person. And I mean, it will be over. It'll be out just like that. Yeah. But again, they said no, this is the guy we want. This is him, and so it was that. Then it was controversial messages on Reddit. His Reddit account had saw some off the wall stuff. He really had an extreme stance on a lot of stuff. I will say at points he would blame it on his PTSD because he was a veteran. Now, I'll be honest, and I shared this before on my program, in no disrespect, because I know people personally with PTSD, and I have folks that served in my own family that has it. I hate sometimes when folks use that as a easy way out to say, the sexual assault, PTSD. That's what and I'm like, and again, please don't, for those who are suffering with that, don't take this as I'm downgrading, the struggle with PTSD. Because like I said, I can't speak on it because I don't have it, but I know folks personally that go through it. What he was doing throughout the whole entire time was deny, and he has since denied these allegations as well. But everything was always, well, I was going through this, I was going through that, I was going through this, I was going through that. Even his his own wife had put out a long video. This was a while back, just basically saying, hey, look, she stands with her husband. He's been, he's going through some stuff, this and that and the other, which marriage is perfect. And, let's just keep it moving. Again, from day one, I'm like, not a good idea. Not a good idea. If you're trying to unseat, somebody who has been in the Senate for a long time, and Susan Collins, Susan has been dodging a lot of races. Like she's been like, they thinking they got her up. She comes back on top and, leaves out. So, I mean, I guess I want to ask Adam, because Graham Platner was somebody who was a part of like the new movement of challengers, very popular at the time. I would even say had leaned a little more progressive in his views. Do you see him as like putting a dent to the momentum overall with some of the races that have been occurring during this midterm cycle?
No, I don't see him affecting other races. I do see him affecting the main race, obviously.
Okay.
So a movement is bigger than one person. It's bigger than one candidate. Well, any movement worth its salt is, I should say. And this progressive movement is stronger and bigger than Graham Platner is. So, I can absolutely see him doing some damage in this main race. I don't know who the candidate will be for the Democrats. It better not be Graham Platner. Graham Platner needs to get out of this race. He should have done it before, but he absolutely should now. Because I will say point blank, I find the allegations credible. I believe women whenever they say they've had an incident like this. A false allegation is so freaking small of a percentage that it's 99.99999% of the time the woman is telling the truth. So I believe women whenever they say that they have had an incident like this. I find it credible, and I think Graham Platner better go. That's first and foremost, but no, I don't think that it will harm the progressive movement as a whole.
Okay.
What about you? Do you think it will?
Slightly, but not a lot, not by a long shot. What I mean by slightly is because whenever the left takes a huge L, like for example, I'll bring up Eric Swalwell, right? Eric Swalwell was at the time like he's gonna be the lead contender. He's for the most part was looking like he was gonna be the next governor, and then boom, fall from grace, like a straight fall from grace. I bring him up because any L from the left is Christmas for the right. So they're gonna, as you just said, you said one person does not is not the overall movement. The right will say the opposite. The right would say, hey, look, this guy is the representation of this whole, do you want more? And so they're gonna take it to I guarantee you Fox News probably got 5 specials right now in the works, all related to Graham Platner. Like, I mean, it's just they love that. That's how the strategy works. So I say slightly because you have, oh my goodness, I'm blanking on one of the primary winners in New York. I'm blanking on her name, but there was an article that I read briefly. David Duke, a former KKK leader, has said, "Oh, I agree with her about not supporting interracial relationship because there was a story." And I'll speak on this. Nothing important, but actually it is pretty important. But it was in the past, and it was a quote where she explained, and I don't remember the candidate, but I kind of say all of that to explain when you have a story like that, right? That can always be recycled on the right when it comes to their attack ads, right? So if folks really, because let's be honest, I mean, sometimes those attack ads do affect campaign regardless of whatever side it's on. That's why they pour money into attack ads. That's where most of the money goes is to commercial and attack ads. So yeah, I say slightly, but Maine has always been like an interesting state. Like Maine is very, very, very interesting. Even Republican Mainers are interesting, Democratic Mainers are interesting, independent Mainers they're all very interesting with their views. So I think obviously it will have a huge effect in that race, but I don't think that it will affect the overall because there's been so many people that have quick to withdraw from him and to say no, what he did is wrong, and like who's gonna be next. Now I'm thinking there's a few names, a couple of names that I see that came to mind. So the former governor Janet Mills, who actually withdrawn from that race. Janet Mills, 78 years old, she withdrew due to lack of finances with her campaign, because she was, Graham Platner outraised her by a long shot. I mean, he had like at 1.12 million in his campaign, which is like blows my mind. Oyster farmers, I tell you, man, those oysters are pricey. But then there's also Troy Jackson. Troy Jackson's a former president of Maine Senate. He ran for governor in 2026, and he has strong ties to organized labor in rural northern Maine, and so a lot of folks are putting him as kind of like the front runner to replace. But as of right now, Adam, Graham Platner has not dropped out. Like everybody's saying he needs to. Mom Donnie has said he needed to. Progressive leaning, progressive streamers has said he's got to go. As I mentioned, I think Governor Wes Moore out of Maryland said everybody's saying he needs to be gone. He needs to go. But he is saying, no, I am staying in there. And it's just like,
it's interesting though. Did you see his video that came out like in response to the allegations?
Yes.
And he had a line in there which tells me that he is going to drop out, and maybe I'm going to predict that by the time this airs, he will have dropped out.
Okay.
But essentially what he says is that there is, these, even though these allegations are false, I know they can wreak political damage. So keeping that political damage in mind, my team and I are going to discuss what our future is. That's not verbatim, but that's essentially what he said. That is politician speak for, I'm getting my ass out. I just got to figure out how to tell y'all. But what I think is fascinating about this, and you kind of like hit the nail on the head a little bit with how this is going to be used on the right as attack ads. But imagine for a second if Graham Platner were a Republican. Then he would be the next senator. Yes, exactly. Because if you'll notice, that same thing happened with Al Franken in Minnesota. Remember?
Man, you are bringing. I'm so glad you brought that up, Joe.
Yeah. So Democrats are pretty good. Democrats are kind of like how Winston Churchill said about Americans during World War II. They will eventually do the right thing once they've exhausted all other options. Democrats are Democrats are very much that same way. And the Nazi tattoo apparently wasn't enough. The first sexual kind of misconduct and the weird replies, that's not enough. But it seems like now they're finally like, okay, we found our spine. He's gone. Republicans, though, would be nominating him for the Nobel Peace Prize. And I think the difference is that Republicans literally do not care about women, point blank.
So I wouldn't go that far. I'm not here defending anybody, but I wouldn't go that far. Again, we do, Adam is our in studio a progressive. He's the progressive voice of this group. But one thing that to add to what you're saying, so Charles Blow is a popular he's a political commentator, New York Times bestseller. I believe he's a columnist for the New York Times, if I'm not mistaken. He was on MS Now, and he basically had said, let's not forget, like, okay, the president was found liable in the case of between him and E. Jean Carroll. He was found liable. He lost in a civil suit with E. Jean Carroll.
He was found liable of sexually assaulting her.
Yes. And then you had at the time before he was in the Supreme Court, Brett Kavanaugh, right? They were passed. So it's like,
and Clarence Thomas too.
And I mean, and
Anita
again,
Hill.
these folks, you got Supreme Court and you got one person that was elected as president. So what I think Charles Blow was bringing up is the fact that these are still allegations. Yes, what he did was absolutely wrong, but we can't be compared to to the right, because there were proof, right? There was facts as far as with the civil suit, and boom, he's elected. You mentioned Al Franken. There was allegations, and so many elected officials still to this day regret forcing him to withdraw because they're like, let's wait until proof. And it turned out there was no facts, there was no proof, and he was basically just he was ousted. He was blackballed. And a lot of folks continue to bring up Al Franken. He was a former senator out of
Minnesota.
There we go. And so and yeah, he was there for a long time. He was kind of one of the respected ones because he came from the entertainment world. He was a comedian, he was a writer for SNL, and then boom, turned senator. So yeah, it does have you thinking that each party reacts differently, right? But again, I think for how serious this was, it's like, okay, yeah, the left, they had to. It sucks because again, I'm thinking of like, these are two folks, like, now mine, they're two different positions. One was governor and the other one was US Senate. So it was two different, positions, but it's like, this was around the same period. Like, I mean, boom, Eric Swalwell, we haven't heard from him since. I don't think we're going to hear anything from Platner, as you mentioned, predicting that he will withdraw from this race. It's just, yeah, man, it's just, it's a lot. I mean, I don't know why. I'm curious on whose idea was to say, hey, look, this guy will be a great candidate for U.S. Senate, because this is a lot of baggage that really should have been dealt with beforehand. And I will say, the Democratic Party has been pretty awful when it came to strategy. When it's like, hey, look, we found about this stuff ahead of time, but we, we're just gonna pursue and everything's gonna be fine. We did, like, it's just so bad.
So, man, I actually saw an interview. Oh, I cannot remember their names now, but it was two consultants who like two Democratic consultants, and apparently they were like, they saw like, okay, there's this main Senate race. This is going to be important. Let's start like looking at candidates, and they found this oyster farmer that had no support really yet. I think they looked into his fundraising history, like who he's donated money to. And he like donated to Bernie Sanders, and they noticed he had this like blue collar appeal, and they were like, "That's our guy," and like latched onto him.
He's a ginger with a beard and plaid shirts. That's the guy we want. He can.
Speaking as a former ginger with a beard, yes, I mean he spoke to me.
I mean, now I guess to kind of end this convo, because we got maybe like 5-ish minutes left. Do you look at this now, Adam, as just an easy win handed to Susan Collins?
I think that she is now the favorite. I think she was the favorite after the first set of allegations came out. Like his momentum stalled, and his momentum has probably been stalling for the past 3 to 4 weeks, give or take. So I think that he was already on track to lose. This is akin to him throwing an interception at the 2-yard line, and it's a pick six. I think now Susan Collins definitely is the front runner, and even this I don't think is quite as bad as the Kamala Joe Biden kind of switcheroo, but it is going to be so difficult to jump in there and be able to run a full campaign. I think that we'll see Susan Collins be reelected senator from Maine.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I will say though, if Platner was still the say if this allegation did not come out, and even though the past ones have been brought up before, if he was still in this race, I don't know. I think it might have low key. I think folks still would have we would have seen an upset. Maybe just because I think right now we're in this movement of new faces, new voices, a change, somebody that's relatable. It's ongoing. And personally, I think that's why you also see a lot of these challengers succeeding, because I mentioned on the show a while back, like, incumbents should be scared. Like, you cannot think you could just rely on the same old establishment talking points, because it's just not winning. Now, depending on which district, for those in the congressional district, what district you're in, or just state, but I don't know, man. It's just like incumbents should be slightly terrified. They should be slightly terrified.
For both sides as well. It's not just like
sure.
Republicans or Democrats. The national environment is terrible. It's a bad economy, and folks are rejecting the status quo. And the thing is, it's not just one party that's the status quo. It is the establishment of both parties, and I do see kind of a voter backlash to like being in this kind of like the good old boys club, so to speak. People aren't cool with that anymore.
Do you think that the Democratic Party should embrace this new shift of socialist candidates? I guess real quick, because I know we're running low on time. Is there a difference between a socialist and a progressive?
You know what, man?
In your opinion, as a progressive,
I was about to say it depends on who you ask. It's one of this is one of those things where it's kind of like, are you atheist or agnostic? And then people have like 100 different definitions for what it is. Personally, the way that I see progressivism is using the current system as it is to try to better the lives of others. And so it would be like doing a lot of like universal health care, raising the minimum wage, education bills, where you are like putting a whole bunch of money into the middle class. Democratic socialism is a means of production where the workers control and own, like what gets produced, when, how. Like, it's more like workers kind of being involved.
Gotcha.
And then a democratic socialist is someone who wants to do these socialist ideas, but works within the democratic system in order to accomplish them. Most of the tenets of the Democratic Socialist Party, I probably agree with, but I do not consider myself a member of the Democratic Socialist Party. It's just too kind of like widespread, and there's too many like disparate groups, and there's no like coherent ideology that I don't feel comfortable, putting my name.
No, and I appreciate that answer, because I've kind of, on the show kind of put them together slightly, similar, like not a far stretch, because you look at somebody again like a Zohar Mamdani, who has been open about, hey, look, I am a socialist, but a lot of progressive values he has also been in favor in a lot of. So I always see the more tight-knit community than others. So that's why I had always put that out there.
Do you see a difference between progressivism and social? Okay.
No, I mean, and not like a jab. I just, I really don't. I really don't. I see a huge difference. But again, you explained it, perfect. But as you mentioned, you say, hey, look, it depends on who you ask, because I can easily say, if I speak to a majority of my progressive friends and you mention, hey, what do you think about this new candidate, such the one that's, oh yeah, all in for her, absolutely. So it's iffy. It's very interesting. Running low on time, but hey, don't go anywhere. I'd love to chop it up with you after the show. But as always, Adam, I truly appreciate it. Of course, we could talk for like hours and hours and hours. That's why it just sucks, the fact we don't have the time to, man. But folks, please do me a favor, subscribe and follow the Act Out podcast, available on all podcast platforms. Follow them on all social media platforms as well. And Adam, man, I always appreciate you, brother.
Arrington, thank you so much. And listeners, please do me a favor and follow the Arrington Gavin Show on social media, Instagram. We're probably on X. I could see you doing that. Make sure you're following him. He's one of the. He's one
only
of the
when I'm on the toilet.
around.
I'm usually on X. Man, as always, hey, thank you, Adam. We love you, man. Appreciate it. All right, y'all. Peace and blessings. I hope you enjoy the convo. Hey, I'll talk to you soon for another great conversation here on the Arrington Gavin Show.
That's it for tonight on the Arrington Gavin Show. Thanks for tapping in and keeping the conversation alive. Don't forget, stay connected with us on all platforms. Follow at Arrington Gavin on Instagram, Blue Sky, and X, and subscribe to the official